For BCM 300, I created a game from scratch with some fellow classmates. I will be giving a review of our game and the contributions that I made to the development of this game. We created a game called Biopurge: The Infected Shelter, which is a party game for 8 to 12 players that involves social deduction. The aim of the game is for the humans to eliminate the biohumans, whilst the biohumans' aim is to infect as many humans as possible. To get an idea of what players will experience, I initially created a narrative, which my teammates have also added to as well. Here is a narrative that I came up with to get a gist of our game. Within the aftermath of a science calamity, the remaining survivors have been forced to seclude themselves in shelters, safe from the harm of the outside world. An unknown infectious threat has rapidly spread throughout the outside world, giving rise to the era of the biohumans. The highly infectious virus is at first unnoticeable amongst other survivors. However, those that are infected become ravenous monsters over time. This new threat has made its way into the safe apocalyptic shelter where you currently reside in. It is now yours and the community's responsibility to identify the infected before it's too late. Will you win and save humanity, or will the infected biohumans take over the shelter? Our game was mainly inspired by existing games such as Mafia and Fallout. While brainstorming on what game we should create, I pitched in the idea of creating a game that was similar to Mafia. I suggested that we could take the mechanics of Mafia by taking inspiration from its role-playing, social deduction, and bluffing aspects, which we have included into our game, but with our own twist into the story. This is where my classmate Anthony came in with his idea of the video game Fallout. We took inspiration from its story and setting, which involves surviving in a post-apocalyptic shelter. This is how our game came to be, where I will now go into our card pieces and their roles and abilities. Starting off with the biohuman. This card has the ability to infect other players. Their goal is to infect as many humans as possible without being suspected. And now we have the human cards. This team's aim is to help the non-infected people to survive throughout the game and investigate who is infected through their abilities. These roles and abilities can include the spy, who can choose to investigate a player to see if they are infected or not. The guard, who can choose a person to protect in a round. The scientist, who can choose a person to heal in a round. And the survivor, who is just a normal citizen with no ability but can contribute in discussions and voting. These are our roles that players can play within Biopurge: The Infected Shelter. This is just a short recap of our game. However, for more detail into the development of our game, head to my blog in the link below.